sweet. Okay, so I got my personal radio Jesus out of the way there. Good morning, man. Take it away. Nah, just tuning down here to see who was around. I didn't think anyone was here, so I threw my call out to see who I could pull out there.
Yeah, but what radio you on, Mr. 3K?
I'm on my Anan, but I'm in my DX profile, and I was on the higher band chasing DX here, so there we go. Stretch it out a little bit, make you guys feel better, make you feel important.
Well, good morning.
Now you're sounding like you're on amateur radio with eSSB.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, gentlemen. Just fooling off here on TikTok and was playing on the higher bands for a little bit. The bands are kind of noisy today, so I got a little time here before work, a few hours, so just thought I'd jump on and play radio and see what was going on there.
Hey, if I don't hear you and you gotta go to work, I just want to slip in here and say, happy birthday.
Well, it's not till tomorrow, but thank you so much, Gary. I appreciate it. I'm turning the big 22 years old.
Oh, plus my age? Yeah, you kind of look that way.
22! And that's the way I feel. I'm only celebrating how I feel.
Okay, so you turn those numbers upside down, you get 55. Is that how old you are?
55. No, I'm not quite there yet. I got a few more years till that. Stop trying to push me older.
I thought you were. I thought you were almost 50, right? What are you, 40, Dave?
No, I'm in my 50s. I'll be. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I don't even know how I got to 50. It's the worst. It's like the worst feeling. I don't remember like the 40s. What happened to the 40s? Bro, it just flies by, man. Look at me. I'm 64 going, what?
Hey, listen, at 55, you're still sexually active. Once you hit the 60s, that's when things change. You got to use the baking soda and the salt trick and all that.
You have a G2, right? There's times I ask questions. This is not going to be one of those times. Yeah, I don't care about that, but you have a G2, correct? Who, me? No, I'm on a 7000. Richie has a G2, if that's who you're asking. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had one or not. I was just going to ask your thoughts on it, I don't, it's funny, we've discussed this many times. I'm not a big fan of the Raspberry Pi in the thing. That's one of the reasons I did not buy it. I do not like the Raspberry Pi. I just don't. I think it's the weakest link. But, again, it's personal preference. Some people love it. So, whatever it's worth, it's just not something I found appealing. I'm waiting to see what they come out with next. I don't really, and the other thing too is I'm not a big fan of the all-in-one anyway. Like I said, I have the all-in-one with the flexes, and I think it limits you where I can use a gaming machine or whatever, and I can kind of add on or do whatever I want to do there.
It's faster than the 7000. You got the Raspberry Pi controlling the Ethernet port that you're going to run data on, and then it's taking that internet load and feeding it to the FPGA, which is 10 times faster than the one in the 7000. So yes, it's a much more powerful radio, and you can still run data. Just because it's standalone, you can run it either way, and there's no deficiency. The Raspberry Pi don't hinder it. In fact, it improves the performance.
Wait a minute. I wouldn't want the one with the screen. I would want to run it off my computer, but why would I want a Raspberry Pi in a box when I'm going to run it through my computer?
Because it controls the Ethernet port, and And so the FPGA, they got even a more powerful FPGA in that one than the 7000. So the F handles Ethernet traffic, where Dave's has to handle the Ethernet traffic, and it loses more bandwidth and performance. So the Raspberry Pi so you can run it as a standalone, you could put DDIS into it, you can run outboard compute, whatever it is you want. You don't have to get the display or the controller, you can just get the black box.
Yeah, it's kind of baloney. Like they're saying, like Protocol 2 is like beta for my radio, and it says it's fully supported. Now that's a crock of baloney if I ever heard it. The only thing I like on yours, the only thing is the balanced audio input. That's it. Other than that, I don't really see the peak performing. I don't know. I'd argue that whole thing, Rich, because the way my computer runs here, I'm running it directly in. I'm not running it through the network or anything like that. And I'll guarantee, there's zero delay or anything like that. So I don't know. I think it's for selling purposes they pump it up, but I wouldn't trade my 7000 for a G2. I really wouldn't. Even though the G2's newer and all that, if somebody had the black face and they said, "Hey, I'll trade you the G2 for your 7000," I'd still say no. So what's that tell you?
Because you're used to that radio, you're comfortable with it. That's all. You don't understand the technology or the performance. That's fine. That's cool. You like what you have. But if you want a better performing radio, the G2 is what you want. But so I'm getting the new one too. Well, they're coming out with the new one with the Compute Module 5, the updated audio board. Remember, my audio board makes noise. Okay, so they goofed up on the wiring. I could fix it, but still, I direct feed it with the interface. However, the new one is getting Codec 2. So they're using Codec 2 audio with also Codec 2 also handles TCP protocol as well. So there's a new audio board going in.
And what is that? It's still a G2, or is that what they're calling the G2 Ultra?
It's the same thing. They're just revising it now. They're changing some hardware, they're updating the compute module to a faster compute module. They're getting rid of the GPIO, and they're putting a Raspberry Pi 0W2 in there to handle the controller, and it's going to be TCP traffic through USB. So now, if you have the radio with the controller, even though you got the screen, which is good because you could do the operating system, whatever, any changes you want, P2 app, but you'll have the controller on the radio, which now controls thetis.
Okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to pop back up to 10 meters real quick and talk to my brother Mark.
So basically, the G2 with the controller in the face, you could use that face to control thetis now. So basically, Dave, it's like you're using a radio, and thetis is the screen, and you don't have to use the keyboard and the mouse. You could use the buttons and the VFO on the radio, just as if you were using a real radio.
Yeah, I get it. I'm thinking of selling my AZUFG DX101D off, and I honestly, I just like that 7000. Everybody I hear on that thing sounds marvelous. You know what I mean?
Well, I haven't put mine on thetis yet. Okay.
I'm like, this is.
But there are a lot of guys running them, and they sound awesome. You don't hear them; they get the best sounding.
So now I'm on to like the G2. But honestly, if I could find like a 7000, I'd be happy with that. That's all I need.
right. Well, I'm not knocking Hermis lite 2, and I enjoy that. And a 7,000 puts that to shame. So, I'm not gonna. Not that you could tell the difference. Okay, it's so slight, the difference in slightly fuller. That's all. It's got a little bit in the digital. But other than that, if you don't know what you're listening to, you couldn't tell the difference. Nobody could tell the difference. If he was on a Hermis lite 2 or a 7,000, you couldn't tell the difference.
Maybe so. I don't know. Anyway.
There are people that got it in their head that they got to have an Apache lab. It has to have the name Apache lab on it for it to be good. Well, they're sadly mistaken because they don't know how the hardware actually works. It's a converter box. The software creates the sound. It has nothing to do with the black box.
Anyway.
That's a fact. I'm saying it. That's a fact. The hardware does nothing. It's the software that creates the sound. That's why they all sound the same.
Right on. Anyway, where the hell did everybody go, man?
But you get what you want, Dave. Whatever you feel comfortable with, that's what you get. Now, Dave is right. Raspberry Pi PC. Well, now you have to learn that. If you want to modify it, or if you just want to leave it alone the way it comes, you make a backup, and you run it. There's nothing, you really don't have to learn anything. I had to, because when I got mine, the software, the firmware, it wasn't working properly. So they developed the firmware, they developed the software, all the bugs, everything is fixed. So you get a new one today, you back it up, make a couple of backups to a micro SD card, and you store it away. That's it. You don't have to change anything. There's nothing to do.